Bitcoin is currently hovering around $113,000 as stocks and gold continue to print new all-time highs. Today should be a massive day because we have Fed Chair Jerome Powell giving his speech, and we also may have some Bitcoin news as it pertains to politics. In today's video, I'll be talking about all of this. I'll be going over whether or not I think that the bottom could be in for Bitcoin, or if we may potentially head lower, and so much more. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. First and foremost, as you can see here on the Bitcoin chart, if I zoom in, it looks like we may have made a double bottom on the lower time frames. Now, this was a pretty big move down as we covered in yesterday's video and as we've been predicting. The question is, will 112K hold as support? Because this is indeed a very pivotal level. It coincides with that all-time high that was set in May of this year. Now, this is a major pivot zone. If we start to lose $112,000, then I do think that we will be targeting the lows once more, which is right around 107.5K. Now, the thing is, if we target those lows once more, there is all the likelihood that they break and we potentially go ahead and wick lower. But to be perfectly clear, as I've been saying, I still think that we have at least one more leg to this bull market cycle, regardless of what Bitcoin does here. The thing is this a good area to go long? Because you can see that we wicked down, and now this is a pretty significant green candle wicking down to 111.4K. We wicked below 112K, showing a little bit of proof of support, but we also tapped into that bull market support band, which historically does hold as support in the bull market. All this while you can see here that gold continues to print new all-time highs, and we also have the S&P 500 looking a little bit overextended here, but hey, we continue to print new all-time highs. So what gives here? Why is crypto dumping? Are we about to catch up and move much, much higher? Well, crypto is a little bit further up the risk curve, so we need to take that under consideration. Maybe Bitcoin has already priced in the downside move for stocks that could happen in the upcoming weeks. Let's see what happens here. But right now, this is a perfectly viable level to potentially go long. Now, me personally, I have not entered any positions, and I want to see how this plays out. You can see here that my trade is still sitting in some very, very nice profits. I took 30% off the table off my Bitcoin short. However, there is a chance here that we continue to roll over. Typically, when we see these kinds of moves for Bitcoin, where we get a big move down, it does lead to some kind of short-term bounce. However, my base case here is that I think we can get a bounce and then potentially roll over. Where is the pivot zone? I've shared this in my premium free group. If you'd want to join, by the way, that's the first link in my description down below. However, where I will be looking for some potential long setups would be taking a look at the price action of Bitcoin right around this region over here. So let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame just to give you a little bit more clear insight. Right at this pivot zone, 114.5K, I will make my decision on whether or not I will execute a Bitcoin long. If we start to hold this region as support, to me that gives me enough confirmation to take a swing at a Bitcoin long, targeting all the way up to around $120,000. However, because of how aggressive this move was all the way down, I'm not willing to just jump into the long quite yet. Now, could this be a potential good entry? We swept the lows. Yes, of course, as we also tapped into that bull market support band. However, something tells me that there's a little bit more of a shakeout to come. We know that we get these double bottom moves, and typically they do provide excellent entries, but I am seeing a lot of people also talking about how this could be the low and that it is an excellent entry to go long. Just to share with you though, I do have a Bitcoin long position open from lower levels. You can see here that we actually entered right around $110,000. Now, this was shared weeks ago in my free premium group, and this is the beauty about getting great entries in trades. You don't have to rush. All you have to do is sit on your hands and see how it plays out. On this Bitcoin long trade, I already secured around $32,000 in profit, and I'm simply just letting the rest ride. If Bitcoin goes lower, my stop loss is at break even and I won't lose any capital. And of course, this short will absolutely continue to print and I will be taking more profits on the way down. That's how you should be trading this market. Right now, I am relatively stress-free because I've secured some massive profits on both of these trades. So whatever happens, I am positioned. And from a spot positioning, I do have Bitcoin and Ethereum as I've continued to share. And if we do get a further downside correction, I will likely accumulate even more, starting to look into altcoins. But if you've been watching the channel, you also know that my base case is that Bitcoin dominance will likely get a bounce. As I've been sharing, this is a very, very key pivot zone. If we start to get multiple daily closes below this 57% Bitcoin dominance level, then I will be changing my thesis. But for now, you can see that we are getting a bounce at this exact crucial level that we've gotten a bounce at so many times. You can see here that in some of the previous cycles, every time we tapped into this 57% level, we got a major bounce to set new highs. Then the same thing happened in 2020, major bounce to set new highs. So there's actually a chance here that this isn't the high for Bitcoin dominance. And if it isn't, we would likely see something like this where we continue to grind up higher, whether Bitcoin goes up or down, and then we go ahead and move lower. For now, I would be absolutely surprised if Bitcoin dominance doesn't make it at least back up to around 62% in the upcoming weeks, which is why I see no need to touch altcoins from a spot positioning. And just a quick reminder, if you want to trade the market as I am currently doing, you have all of the links in the description down below. When it comes to Bluffin, which is the second link in my description down below, and my preferred exchange, I do have a fantastic promotion for all of you that are bigger traders. If you deposit 25K and you start trading as you normally would, I can get you VIP 1. If you deposit 50K, I can get you VIP 2. And if you deposit 100K, I can get you VIP 3. Now, the reason why this is so significant is because it reduces your fees on the platform. And if you're a relatively big trader, such as myself, I would highly recommend that you sign up with the second link in my description down below, make your deposit and start trading on there. Then DM me on Telegram and I would be happy to give you that VIP status, which I just shared. This is only a limited time only. If you're trading with a good amount of capital, I would highly recommend that you sign up to Bluffin with me and start trading with lower fees. Now, there's some big news that is supposedly coming out today, and I'm seeing a lot of people starting to talk about it. There's some absolutely huge news coming from the White House on Tuesday afternoon. It's about Bitcoin and possibly crypto in general. Just waiting for some more info from my sources. We'll let you know what I hear. Now, this guy is notoriously a troll, Altcoin Gordon, but I'm also seeing a lot more people talk about it too. I just got the most insane call, and I can confirm that what you were all waiting for is finally happening tomorrow. Stay tuned. Does this mean a strategic Bitcoin reserve will be announced today? Because we also have this guy, Dennis Porter, who has been covering this at length, just got off a call with one of the most influential people in Washington, D.C. that I know. I told them the news coming tomorrow, and they agreed that this announcement is going to cause a shift in Bitcoin politics. What will happen here? Are we about to get a massive piece of news that will fuel the markets forward into the last leg of this bull market cycle? I have seen these kinds of tweets before over the course of this cycle end up being nothing burgers, but let's see what happens. We also have this video, President Trump to deliver a major speech Tuesday morning, which is today, where he presents his own vision for a new world order. Is there going to be a Bitcoin announcement?
Tomorrow morning, President Trump will deliver a major speech touting the renewal of American strength around the world, his historic accomplishments in just 8 months, including the ending of 7 global wars and conflicts. The president will also touch upon how globalist institutions have significantly decayed the world order, and he will articulate his straightforward and constructive vision for the world.
Does this involve Bitcoin? And we also have, of course, today, Fed Chair Jerome Powell will be delivering a big speech. Expect high volatility. Now, this speech is going to be in approximately 6 hours from now, from the time I upload this video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If you want more frequent updates, you have my Telegram group down below where I always provide quicker updates on the market as well. That is also completely free. Now, I want to see what happens with Bitcoin at this level because it's very clear. Stocks just continue to rip higher. Gold just continues to rip higher. So what is going on with Bitcoin? We're now right above 113K. And so if this is the confirmed bottom, we should get confirmation back above 114.5K. For now, I'm just sitting on my hands and waiting to see how the price action develops. If we start to reclaim this level and then we reclaim 116K, then at that point it is highly likely that the probabilities favor a move up to the 120K region. Let's see how it plays out, but sometimes the best possible thing that you can do is sit on your hands and watch the price action develop before you have a solid entry in the market. And just a quick update on the liquidation heat map, you can see that there's still a little bit more cumulative long liquidation leverage in the market, but of course with that last move yesterday, dumping below $112,000, we liquidated a lot of longs and a lot of people started to pile into shorts. So we could see a little bit of a more choppy environment. And remember what I said yesterday, $112,000 will not go down without a fight because it is that previous all-time high and because it also is the bull market support band, which we've been covering. So let's see how it plays out. We also have this map showing that a little bit more liquidity is to the upside on this 3-day time frame. So perhaps we get a move up before potentially rolling over, or this is the confirmed bottom. Now, some of you seem to get frustrated when I give two possible scenarios, but at the end of the day, no one has a crystal ball. I may have gotten some very, very solid calls over the past few months, made some solid profits, but that's what trading is all about. It's all about probabilities. And to me, I like to see the price action develop before I go ahead and enter a massive position. That's just how I play this market. Anyone that tells you that they can predict what will happen with absolute certainty is full of shit. Now, back to the Bitcoin chart. Talking about my base case here, it has been up, down, up. We got the move up. Is this going to be the move down, or is this still in progress and we will end up rolling further down? And then we will likely have the move up. This is why getting the general direction of the market is the most important thing. You don't need to get the perfect entries. As long as you have the general direction correct, using all of these levels that I've been discussing on the channel, then it's likely that you can become a profitable trader. Now, I also wanted to quickly talk about this. Selling equities and buying crypto here really doesn't seem bad. We have seen this before because stocks seem to be due for a correction and crypto potentially due for a rally. I'm not that convinced, but this narrative does hold true because it did go ahead and work out in fall of 2020, 2023, and 2024. Maybe we're about to see a new rally, but I think that right now, this is not the environment where you want to rush into anything. And lastly, Jim Cramer said that he wants to see a pause in the endless rally of crypto. Is this the bottom signal? Are we about to reverse from here? And that sums up today's quick video. I know it's a little bit of mixed signals here, but as I always say, I don't like to diddle in the middle, especially as it pertains to trading. From a spot positioning, not stressed, just holding my crypto assets. However, I would like to see us flip 114.5K from a trading perspective if we are to see more upside for Bitcoin. Hold that level of support and then hold 116K as support, and it's highly likely that we go ahead and target $120,000. However, if the crucial level of 112K does not manage to hold as support, I find it very likely that we will go ahead and target the lows once more around $107,000. We also have some pretty big news. Today, we will likely hear something regarding Bitcoin. President Trump also has a speech, and we also have Fed Chair Jerome Powell giving us his side of things. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.